Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Luca, and today I want to share with you guys the same exact proposal that I recently used to win an $8,000 Framer project. A quick disclaimer before we begin is that I'm not saying this is the perfect proposal or that everybody should follow this structure. I just want to share with you guys what worked for me so that it can hopefully work for you too. So before I go over the actual proposal, I just want to give you a very quick overview of how this project came around. So basically, this guy reached out to me via Contra Organic. So I didn't apply to any job, it was him that reached out to me. And he asked me if I had availability to take on his project and basically gave me a super quick overview of what the project was all about. Basically, he had a WordPress website and wanted to both redesign it and migrate it to Framer. So that was the main scope of the project. I said sure. So we opted on a discovery call, and the discovery call was actually super important. I'm going to outline why later. But for now, basically we had this discovery call, and afterwards he asked me for a proposal. Basically, he had a few candidates that he was interviewing, and he wasn't the decision maker. So basically, he would take these proposals and then share them with like the board of directors, and then the board of directors will make the decision. Sorry. So I ended up creating this proposal, and something funny is that up until that point I had never created a proposal. That's because 99% of projects that I had worked on and that I still work on don't really require a proposal. Usually people are more than happy with like having a call or discussing everything via chat, but this time I need a proposal, so I ended up creating this one. And yeah, so let's see how the proposal was structured, how I created the content, so that you can get an idea if you need to create one. So one thing that I want to mention also is that I presented this proposal during a call, so I also had the chance to like handle objections or anything. So that is nice. If you can, I suggest that you do it. Otherwise, if you just have to send it, that's fine as well. But in general, if you can be on a call, that like gives you the edge of being able to like handle objections or change things on the spot. So this was basically, let's play it. This was basically my presentation. It started with a super simple slide with, actually I don't like this presentation, let's remove it. Oh, here we go. Perfect. With the name of the company, I removed it because, well, let's say for privacy reasons. And there's nothing else on this slide, so let's move on. Here we have a super quick agenda. I like to include an agenda just to give people an idea of what we are going to cover. People are busy, so it's nice to see what we are going to cover and also like give them an idea of what's going to come. So an agenda with the overview, the goals of the project, the process that I would have followed if I took the project, a few considerations that came out from the discovery call, and finally, if they had any questions, well, actually it was just him, so if he had any questions, I could answer them on the spot. So starting from the overview, the goal is to design and develop a website that resonates with the target audience, performs well on Google, and doesn't require a developer to maintain and expand. So, where did I take this overview from? All the content that you see on this proposal came from the discovery call. That's why I say that it's super important. You can't create a good proposal without a like discovery process, because otherwise it will not resonate with the client, and basically will say, okay, he's not getting what I actually want. So I always suggest that you do a discovery call beforehand so that you have a clear idea of what he wants, what what his goals are, what his concerns are, and like what he expects from you. And during the discovery call, he basically told me that there were 3 main points that he wanted to address. The first one is that the website wasn't converting, so that was like the main reason for the redesign. It was not attracting leads, it was like poorly designed, so he wanted a new design, and that also like converted visitors into leads, of course. Then SEO wise, sorry, SEO wise, he basically told me that the website was performing okay on Google, so he didn't want to lose any of the traffic that he was getting. And also he mentioned that he had a few technical problems that his tool of choice, in this case SEMrush, was marking as problematic, so he asked me if I could handle them, so I said yes, of course. So that's where the performs well on Google thing came about. Sorry, 1 second. And finally, and doesn't require a developer to maintain and expand. So basically, the guy that reached out to me was the head of the marketing team, and the team was very small, so, and they wanted to iterate very quickly, so they didn't want a developer that, like, they didn't want to make to rely on a developer to make changes. They wanted to be able to test and iterate themselves and do it super quickly. That's why they choose Framer. And so these were the main points that he mentioned during the call, and basically I took them and I formatted them into a nice overview. And so just from the start, just from the overview, he, like, the clients gets that you listen to him and that you are tailoring your plan to his needs. So I think that's really important for converting and like for making the proposal effective. Then we have the project goals. So basically what I just told you: increase time on page and conversion rates, the website design and copy must be captivating and resonate, blah blah blah. So basically I again took everything that he mentioned and I slammed it on like this presentation with the project goals. SEO preservation improvements, I already covered this, and same with maintenance and expansion. Then we have the process. So this is actually very important, but let me give you an overview first. So basically there's mainly a 4-step process in the like design and development. We have the market research. So when you are redesigning a website that's not working, you basically want to see why it's not working. So you look at the user persona. Usually the marketing team will help you if they have a marketing team, and if they are starting from scratch, they still probably has this research. So what they are looking for, the like ideal client, what resonates with them, what are they struggling with, and then also like the competitors, how do they communicate their value. Well, so basically I gave an overview of what the market research was all about, the timeline 1 or 2 weeks, then we have all the design stuff. So content strategy, information architecture, wireframing, design. Every phase includes 3 rounds of iteration. That's basically just to set expectations so that it doesn't iterate 10 times over the design. Usually this never happens, so I just leave it here in case it's needed. I set a timeline of 6 to 8 weeks. Then we have the development, so recreation of the design, addition of animation interactions, transition of the content, and then also localization, because they wanted 2 locales, one for the English version of the website and one for the German version. And then finally the end off, so help transferring and publishing the website. So just basic stuff. I shared the remix link and help them like connect the domain. And then post-launch support. I always offer post-launch support with all my projects. Usually for landing pages I offer 7 days of support, and for bigger websites I offer up to 14 days. Usually this is not actually needed. You will probably get a few questions like the first few days, and then questions will stop. I just leave it there because like people feel more confident if they know that I'm there to help them for 14 days if needed, and obviously at no additional cost, unless they want to change the design or something. That's another story. I'm talking about like fixing small bugs, making very small changes. And so this was basically the entire process. One thing that I want to highlight is that people will judge your process and see if you are a good fit. Basically, after the call, we had another call where he told me that the board of directors had chose me for the project. And one thing that he wanted to highlight is that the process really resonated with him, because he was afraid that I will jump straight into like creating a website without like any evidence backing off my claims. So when I included the market research, basically they were impressed that I wanted to dedicate 1 or 2 weeks to like create a foundation for the website and to make sure that the website will meet all the goals. So that's really important. And we ended up changing a bit this process, because we ended up doing the design direct wireframing and design directly in Framer, so that basically reduce the timeline a bit. But yeah, so the process is really important. Make sure that you follow a solid process. If you want me to make a video on my process, just let me know in the comments. But in general, this is mainly what I follow: market research, design, development, and end off. So let's move on. Then we have considerations. These considerations also came out of the discovery call. They are very simple for content changes and SEO. So basically, when you are migrating a website, if you migrate the website exactly as is and you don't change the underlying and you only change the technology used to build the website, you usually will not experience many fluctuations in traffic. But if you change the structure, the design, the content, then basically Google will reassess your website. So you will probably end up having with permanent changes to your traffic. That doesn't mean a drop. That could also mean more traffic, because maybe the website is better, the content is more relevant to important queries, and so on. So this is an important consideration to discuss with your clients if SEO is a priority. The more you change on the website, there's a few things to consider, like the design, the structure of the website, and more importantly the content, also the domain. But in general, people don't want to change the domain, and all these things will influence how the website will respond with in terms of traffic. If you want me to make a video on this, just let me know. And then we have Framer limitations. So he wanted a second locale, which was the German one, and I told him that we had a 50k words limit for localization. This used to be the case when I was doing the project. This was back in I created this proposal in September 2024, and the team changed their pricing in November of 2024, and now there's no longer this 50k words limit. You have unlimited words for the locales that you purchase, so this will no longer be a consideration, but at the time it was, so I wanted to mention it. He also wanted to mention it that he wanted a table of contents, and I just wanted to mention that it would require custom code, not because he would have to do anything, but because he mentioned that he wanted the website to be very easy to edit. So I just mentioned that this particular thing is the only thing on the website that would basically require some custom code. But in general, people don't really want to change the table of contents once you have set it up, so that's not an issue. And once I had covered the overview, the goals, my process, and the considerations for the project, then I basically gave a proposed timeline and price. I propose 8 to 12 weeks of design and development and a proposed price of 8K. And with this, I basically concluded my my proposal. And yeah, I shared it with you, and this won me the project. So pretty cool. Let's see if I can. Oops. Yeah, this was basically my the proposal. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, if you want to use this template that I used, it's actually a free template. Oops. It's actually a free template from this platform that I used called pitch.com. It's completely free, at least for in this case, it's completely free. This template is also completely free. I will leave a link in the description so you can use it. And this was basically the template that I used. I just changed a couple of things, but as you can see, it's like literally the same that I used. For example, here the project name is the same that I used here for the overview, and just changed a few things, and that was my my proposal. And yeah, so just to summarize, the content is the most important thing. As you can see, like my proposal is not super like aesthetic, it's super minimal. It just has some content slapped on a white background. What is important is that it resonates with the customer, so that he sees that you are tailoring your process and the project to meet his goals. The discovery call will shape the content that you use on this proposal. So as I showed you, everything that I used here was taken from the discovery call, so that's really important. You want to use the discovery call to dig as deep as possible, so that you have you basically cover all his like objections during the proposal. No need to overcomplicate it. As you can see, I have like 8 slides, 3 of which basically have no content. It's just 4 of them that actually has some content to present. It's super simple, super minimal, but it resonated. He liked it, so that's really what matters. You don't need 25 slides of proposal. Just go with something simple, something minimal, something that gets the point. And yeah, a free template is more than enough. You don't need anything fancy. You can use this one that I used, or they have a ton of other templates. They are completely free. I'm not sponsored, by the way, just showing what worked for me. And yeah, that was basically it. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.